Morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. So today we're going to carry on with thinking about line graphs in maths. You're going to do some drawing of line graphs today, so please use a ruler. If you haven't got a ruler, you're going to have to find something that you can use instead of a ruler, because you can't draw a line graph without using straight lines. So find something in your house, maybe a book or something that you can use as a ruler. You need a ruler today. Make sure you watch the video. It's tricky. Drawing line graphs is tricky, so make sure you watch the video. Drop me a message on Padlet if you need some help. English today, we are going to do some persuasive writing. We learned on Monday some information about Martin Luther King, the incredible civil rights activist. What I want you to do today, I've put 2 videos on in the resources section of the website. There's one video by Kid President, just with some more information about Martin Luther King, which I thought was really nice. And then I've added a video of his speech. It's not a speech for children, it's a speech for everyone. So if you watch it, it's from the 60s. You do need to watch it, but when you watch it, it's from the 60s, so it's quite old-fashioned. But you'll understand what he's saying, and it's got subtitles on there as well, so you can read along. I might actually just put a typed-out version on the website as well to help you. His speech was called I Have a Dream. And it was him talking about having a dream where everybody was equal. He had 4 children. And the current situation in the 60s was where they had something called segregation, amongst many, many other awful things. But they had segregation, which was where white people and black people had to do things separately. So, for example, they would have schools for white people and schools for black people. And the schools for black people were not as good as the schools for white people. And they had toilets. If you need to go to the toilet, they'd have toilets for white people and toilets for black people. And, the toilets for black people were not as nice as the toilets for white people. And black people just had to put up with this. And they really weren't very happy about it. Then they were saying, this is just insane. Just because of the colour of my skin, we're all being treated incredibly differently. And it was really, really unfair, really unfair. And Martin Luther King wrote a speech about a dream he had, where everyone was treated equally, and that all the children could play together, and mums and dads could chat together, and everyone was just normal. And we take it for granted. 1960 was not that long ago, that these things were still happening. And although there's still a lot of racism in the world, I can't even imagine that kind of situation where we had segregation, where people weren't even allowed to, sit next to each other just because of the colour of your skin. It's just crazy. So his speech was really, really powerful, and lots of people, lots of black people and lots of white people and every other colour skin heard this speech and, kind of thought, yeah, this is really important. And lots of black people thought it was very unfair. Lots of white people thought it was very unfair as well, but lots of white people thought, no, this is fair and I don't want it to change, which is just horrendous. So I want you to thinking about that, and thinking about how powerful Martin Luther King was and how peaceful he was as well. He didn't go around shouting and screaming. He didn't go around having fights and having violent protests. He wasn't about that. He was very calm, and he used his words to get his message across, which we've talked about a lot as well. If you want to change the conversation or you want to persuade someone to do something, screaming and shouting is not the way. You need to use your words. Your words are way more powerful. So I want you to think about that. I want you to write another speech today. I know we wrote a speech on Monday as well. And I want you to write a speech thinking about the racism that we have today still, and thinking about the Black Lives Matters movement. I'll put a bit more information again on the website. So much information today. And I want you to think about maybe things that you've seen that you don't like, that you don't think is acceptable, or things you've heard, or things that's going on. I know we've talked about George Floyd in America. And I want you to write a speech about your hopes and dreams for the future. So imagining that Martin Luther King was alive now, what would he still want to happen, and he still want to change and improve to make things even better for everyone, so everyone lived a fairer and better life? What would you say? We try and use some things like repetition. Martin Luther King used lots of repetition in his speech because it really hams it home. He says over and over and over again, I have a dream. I have a dream. I want this to happen. I have a dream. Personification and really powerful verbs. I can do a little session on that this morning. I'll do a session at 9:30 again if you want to have a chat about some ideas about things you might want to change. 9:30 just for 15 minutes. But really looking forward to reading those. Very interesting topic. Handwriting today. You've got a really beautiful poem by an amazing lady called Maya Angelou. She was a poet, but she was an activist as well for civil rights. She's American, and she wrote a lot about racism. Really, really interesting lady. She wrote a lot of books about how she'd been treated and how she'd kind of lived her life as a black woman in a horrible, horrible time. This is again in the 60s and 70s. But she's written a poem called Life Doesn't Frighten Me. I'm going to read it for you. I'm just going to blow my nose first and then I'm going to read it for you. Sorry, I'm a bit snotty this morning. Life doesn't frighten me. Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud, big ghosts in a cloud. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old Mother Goose, lions on the loose. They don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing a flame on my counterpane. That doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoo. I make fun, away they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile, they go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys fight, all alone at night. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys all pull my hair. Kissy little girls with their hair in curls. They don't frighten me at all. Don't show me frogs and snakes and listen for my scream if I'm afraid at all. It's only in my dreams. I've got a magic charm that I keep up my sleeve. I can walk on the ocean floor and never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all, not at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Maya Angelou went through an awful lot of really scary things happened to her in her life, and it made her so strong. And I think that's what this poem is about. All these horrible things, and some of them are kind of, lions and dragons. Some of these things might not be real things. Some of these are metaphors for actual things that happened to her. And she's just kind of saying, all these things have just made me stronger. So I'm sure you've had things that have happened to you that weren't very nice, and you might look back on them and you'll think, that did make me strong. That wasn't a very nice thing to go through, but it built up my confidence, and I am stronger for it. And I think that about lots of bad things that have happened to me. So good poem. It's quite a long one, but the lines are quite short and the words are all quite short, so it should be easier to join than having lots of long lines. I did it like this so it fit on a page, but the poem does all go on. So you can either do it in 2 columns if you want to fold your page in half, or you can do it all in 1 column. It's up to you. Try reading it out first of all. Imagine you're Maya Angelou. It's a really empowering poem. I really like it. And then have a go. Good luck. Might take you a while. Soz. Hopefully it's raining today. And then topic today, you're going to learn about a really famous Paralympian called Helena Lucas. And I've got a little interview for you to watch. I can't embed the video. There's a link to click on. If you click on the link, it'll take you to the video. And she's been interviewed talking about how dedicated you need to be a successful person, and specifically like a successful sports person. So I want you to think about setting yourself a sporty goal and how you're going to achieve that. So you could make yourself a little poster to motivate yourself, and with maybe like a little chart at the bottom to keep track. So you might want to be able to run a kilometre. You might want to be able to do 25 burpees. You might want to be able to throw a ball 25 metres. I don't know. Think about a target you could set for yourself and choose something that you find tricky. Think about our sports sessions we've done together and what do you find tricky, or think about It might be that you're amazing at football, but you need to practice your dribbling skills. It might be something that you want to improve even more. Think about your target. Do yourself a little poster. Put your target at the top, and then put some things on your poster to tell me how you are going to improve at that skill. What are you going to do to achieve that goal? So if I wanted to run 10 kilometers, I'd not run 10 kilometers before, a couple of years ago, before my 30th birthday. And so I was like, right, I'm going to be able to do this before I'm 30. What do I need to do? So I just needed to practice. So I started off by doing 2 kilometers. So I did 2 2-kilometer runs, so I could tick those off my chart. And then I did a couple of 3 kilometers, ticked those off, 4 kilometers, and I built it up to 10 kilometers. And I made sure that I was eating really healthily. I made sure that I had lots of energy food before going for a run. So those could all be things that you need to do to achieve your goal. Look forward to seeing them. And then once you've done your little target sheet, I want you to have a go at doing that. So it might take you a week, it might take you 2 weeks. It took me about 6 weeks to be able to run 10 kilometers. But when I did it, I felt amazing. I was like, oh my God, I am like a weapon. Check me out. So let me know on the Padlet if you achieve your goal in a couple of weeks. Look forward to seeing those. Really excited to read your speeches, your Martin Luther King speeches. Have a great day.